to alcoholism, to addictions, to pornography, to promiscuity, to lying, to all those things we've been tempted and led toward. Those demons are going to bow their knee to the Jesus Christ, who is Lord and Savior of all, and who has said to us who have been covered in his blood, come in. Wow. Come in. You get to acknowledge and you get to live in eternity with my Father. So that's the tweet of the week. Yeah, excited about the album itself, but it's the message behind that that really makes it tweet of the week.
Yeah, and Steve, what comes to my mind also, to echo what you're saying there, is the idea of Job and how Satan couldn't do anything without God's permission. And you see the idea of how powerful God truly is. And when you see everything that's going on in our world right now, our culture, and there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of things taking place, and God is so much in charge of that, because no being can do anything unless God gives them permission to do so.
Oh, that's right. And you look at Job, he really had a hard road to go. And yet God was able to bring him right through that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to tell you once again, I guess when I was interviewing for co-hosts for this show and for other shows, I was looking on a resume to see how good somebody was at segues. And Steve's resume just happened to say good at segues, so I thought, hey, I'll give him a shot, But anyway, he knows how to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Hard Road to Go by King James.
This is Metal Talk with Wildman and Steve.
Make it quick. Do what you make it
WildmanandSteve.com is where you can go to find out more about us young guys. That's where you can go to find out more about us young guys. And you will see all the projects that we are working on there at WildmanandSteve.com. And by the way, I'm going to try to say WildmanandSteve.com as many times as I possibly can in one sentence. WildmanandSteve.com is where you'll find what we're doing. But one of the things you'll find that we do there is we are all about promoting others. We're about spreading the gospel through word and music, and we are about letting others, promoting other ministries, other artists, everybody who's getting the gospel message out there. And one of the ways we do that is through shout-outs. And shout-outs are used to thank others and also to promote others' ministries. So we have a shout-out today, and I'm going to throw it over to Steve for tonight's shout-out.
Our shout-out tonight goes to Rob Hendricks. Rob Hendricks is a radio TV friend of mine. He's in the Indianapolis, Indiana area. And Rob has a lifetime of experience in radio, television production, in teaching others how to do that as well. And I recently was having a really nice phone call with Rob and to get to listen to the show and was offering me some really helpful feedback, which I shared with Wildman. And so, Rob, we sure appreciate you. Anything that can make the show better. And better for us means that we blend into the background. And exactly as Wildman said, the attention goes to the artist. And ultimately, from the artist that we talk about to the one that they talk about, Jesus Christ.
Yes, very good. And thank you very much, Rob. We appreciate your support and help that you have been to us already with our projects that we have going on. Because let's face it, Steve, not only do we have to admit in this episode that we're not young, we really don't know what we're doing, do we?
No. I don't know what I'm doing most of the time. In fact, our listeners may know that I'm a teacher, and I tell my students, I just make it up as I go along. Honestly, I teach Latin, and at some point I'll usually say to them, you just assume that I've been telling you the truth. What if the word aqua really doesn't mean water? What if I just made that up? And some of them will look at me and I say, there's a thought that's really going to fester later on tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Questions like that are amazing. Like this being Father's Day, I just have to put this out there. One of the things I love to do as a dad, and I do it naturally. I don't plan on it. I just kind of do it. And that is that I have discussions with my kids at whatever age that they have ever been, where I'm always right no matter what. Where like a trivia question, and I like to say the answer is A, and let's say I'll say B. And they say, Dad, you were wrong. The answer was A. I'll say, no, it wasn't. But you said B. I know. But you were wrong. No, I wasn't. I was right. How are you right if you said B? Because I was right. See, it just
because
doesn't.
You're Dad, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm always right. But thinking about that shout out idea and promoting other artists and promoting what's going on. Last week we asked the question about does the media affect or influence, does it influence society or does it reflect society? And I guess the question that I'm grappling with right now is how does a culture, and we're not speaking specifically of ours, but just in general, how does a culture decide what they're going to promote as a culture? Not just as a certain, small percentage, but as a culture, who has the final decision of this is what should be promoted?
Don't you think it's something of a tipping point in a culture? I mean, certain things, I like this particular song. I share it with a friend. My friend likes the song, shares it with a couple of other friends. Next thing you know, this song has gone to the top of the charts. So isn't it one of those tipping point kinds of things where, again, because you're talking broadly across the cultural spectrum, and it's easy for that tipping point to be achieved with social media and not even just social media, but other kinds of media today, where everyone has quick access to information. Suddenly an idea, and that's of course the language we use today, is something going viral. And what we really mean is that it has passed that tipping point to where everybody then knows about it. So I feel that that's how it happens.
Yeah, and I got to tell you that the social media aspect has given everybody a microphone. to say whatever, unless they're flagged by YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or whatever platform they're using. If they're saying something inappropriate that goes against the standards, I know there's a lot of controversy with all that. But the idea though of one of the things that I think is something to think about is how the gospel message is something that needs to be proclaimed to every generation. And as followers of Jesus, if you are on social media as a follower of Jesus, one of your objectives, or I guess I would say the primary objective, would be to find a way, how can I promote the gospel? Because that is what the answer is. I remember Franklin Graham being interviewed shortly after Billy stopped preaching. And they asked him about, are the arenas, are they working anymore, filling arenas to preach the gospel? And his immediate response was, every generation needs to hear the gospel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you promote what means something to you. Okay. I will tell anybody in the world about heavy metal music because I love it. I'll tell anybody about
excuse
Ford
me,
Mustangs
Steve,
because that's my favorite car.
Yeah, but who doesn't love heavy metal? I'm sorry, I just need to chime in there. I mean, if there's anybody out there who doesn't love heavy metal, please chat with us, send us a text or something so we can convince you that you're wrong. But go ahead, Steve.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, I promote the things that mean something to me. And
right.
At the end of the day, I love Jesus, man. I love him, and I can't wait to be in that glorious scene when my friend and my Savior is on the throne and he's looking over at me and giving me the wink. I'm going, dude, that's great. So of course I want to share him with others.
Right. And of course the gospel message includes the idea that we do not need to clean up in order to come to him. He's the one that does the cleaning for us, and we are to come to him just as we are. Here is King James with Just As I Am.